Welcome back. This is episode 4, and today we are on the run with my great friend, Teahna Daniels. And I'm just going to go ahead and go through the accolades list. She's a 9-time All American, an American junior record holder in the 60 meters, 2019 USA 100-meter champ. Also in 2019, she got a bronze for the 4x100 in Worlds in Doha. And just as an honorable mention, she's a certified yoga instructor also. Thank you so much for joining me, T. What don't you do? Let's talk about that.
I don't do a lot, but yeah, what things I am good at, I I'm good at those, good at all that stuff you just named.
And I'm really happy that you became a certified yoga instructor. I saw a lot of professional athletes getting into that over quarantine just to stay busy. What made you start doing that to begin with?
Well, since high school, honestly, I've been interested in yoga. I got introduced to it by Mushami Robinson out of Orlando, Florida. She is a Olympian as well, a gold medalist. And she kind of introduced me to like the obviously the physical aspects of yoga, but also the mental aspects of yoga. And during quarantine, I was really going back and forth with myself of like, do I want to do this? Because I've always saw it on my timeline, but something in me was just like, just give it a try. Just you never know what you'll get out of it. And I'm really glad I went through the process, and I'm excited to see where I'm going to end up with it too.
Me too. I like it a lot. I like it a lot. Now, moving on to track and field, let's just talk about your story. How did you first get introduced to track?
Well, when I was 8 years old, I was racing against some of the guys, little boys in my neighborhood, barefoot, just kind of playing around. And my mom told me to put on some shoes and try to race them, and I was beating them again. So she put me into a AAU track club called. Well, first I went to this track club called Focus, and then I transitioned to another one in Orlando, Florida called Florida Elite, and then from there I was focused on high school, and then in 11th grade, at the end of my 11th grade year, I got introduced to USATF and made many teams from then. So yeah.
I love that. And how did your dad impact track and field for you?
Oh man, Ugh. He was just always like he was like my spark. Like he would be more excited about my wins than I would be. Um, when I ran, you know, every single time I raced and stuff. So I don't know, oh man, yeah, he's just like a really big impact on me competing and me doing well. And I wanted to do well for him because he was always there and always, pushed me to be my best. And he actually introduced me to Ricky Argro, the men's sprint
Mhm.
coach at FSU. He pushed me to go to the first academy and compete for him. So my dad kind of really got me into um, the elite level part of track and field.
So he had a really huge impact on track. You said he pushed you to just do bigger things and better things. And we definitely see that you're running for him, and every single time you get emotional it's just because everything that you've been through. Now, I wanted to talk about how you remain focused when days can get tough, surrounding you grieving. Not a lot of people know what athletes go through when it comes to that. All they see is, their poker face when they step on a track, but they're dealing with other things, outside of the track. So, how are you to remain focused? It was close to Father's Day, but what do you do?
Well, recently, because I've gotten my yoga certification, I was introduced to a lot of like literature about like connecting the mind and the body. And one particular book that I loved was it's called The Four Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. And he and two of the agreements that I really agree with the most is always try your best and don't take anything personal. So that's kind of like been my mindset, especially these last few months of training. Um, is I every time I step on a track, I just want to try my best, and if the results are great, that's amazing, and if they're not great, I'm still going to be blessed and thankful for like any opportunity I get to step on the track.
And the results have been great. You have been putting what you've been reading into into these rounds. So the 100-meter, let's fast forward. The 100-meter trials at the Olympic, the rounds. Prelims, you were in a
Mm.
season's best because beforehand you were touching 11.2s, 11.1s, dibbling and dabbling here and there. And then prelims, you just broke out and just decided to run 11.02 legal. And then pushing on to semis, it was 1-8, but it would have been a PR, a big PR, 10.84. And then in the same day, a couple hours later, 11.03. That phase is just like chef's kiss. How are you able to just stay in your mindset and keep pushing?
Yeah, I wouldn't say I shocked myself because I was having some really good practices the week of, so I knew something was going to happen. I didn't know what, but I knew something was going to happen. Um, and Flo these last couple of weeks really worked on my start, and I feel like that was definitely the difference maker when it came to me competing at trials. My starts were just really on point, and I you know give that to flow and also just to my confidence and my mindset in what I had to do that day.
What you had to, and you did that day. You did more than enough, and now you're going to Tokyo. But going into after you punched your ticket into Tokyo, now you have to come back a couple days later and run the prelims for the 200. I thought you were gonna scratch it, honestly. I thought you were just gonna be like, "Look, I'm on the team, everything's fine." But how
Oh
did
man,
what was your mindset
Flo.
going into 200-meter prelims? Yeah, I really thought that y'all probably worked something out and negotiated something because y'all are always scheming about like, let's bet this,
I
let's bet
know.
that, let's negotiate.
Yeah, I couldn't do that this time. I was gonna negotiate with him. I was thinking about it, but I was like, nah, let me just at least try to do something. Let me at least try to get a season's best or a PR, hopefully. And I went into it like
Hopefully,
I
and you
just want to try
did.
my best. Like I right, I just wanted to try my best. I just wanted to, um just go out there and just compete again because just to get those rounds in too. I mainly use it for training more than anything. So yeah, he told me, he was like, all I want you to focus on right now is getting out as fast as you can on that first 150 and then try to hold on. So that's what I did. Both
That's
rounds.
exactly what you did. Both rounds. You were coming in with a 23.2, leaving with a 22.5. You were knocked down in the semis, but not by a lot at all. Honestly, you shocked me. I really thought it was just gonna be like, look, she's in. Like, see, when I tell you I wasn't, my focus was not even on you in the 200 meters. I was like, she's going to Tokyo already. Like, she's fine. She's in. She's really just playing around here.
I mean, ain't nothing wrong with one of the double, being that
It's not.
category.
It's
But
not.
it didn't work out this year, which I'm not mad about at all. Like this is my first, honestly, that was my first Olympic trial. So just to make the team in an individual event is, I mean, great for me.
That was your first Olympic trials. And speaking of what happened in 2020, how are you able to just hold on? Like I've been interviewing a lot of people about it, and that's basically just the theme is just patience.
Yeah, I mean, 2020 was not a year for me, and I probably can speak for a lot of people. I don't know, the year just, I really feel like the quarantine was a blessing in disguise for me specifically, even though, yes, people lost their lives, and condolences to the families of them. But for me personally, in my journey, I feel like it was a blessing in disguise because it gave me time to mature mentally, and it also gave me a break. in 2019, I did a lot. I ran from December to September, and my season was so long. So just to have that time to kind of like refocus and also just mature a little bit too, as a professional athlete, because you have to have a different mindset as a professional track and field athlete going into competitions.
Yeah, agreed. A lot of the people I spoke with just felt like 2020 just came up too quick. Like you said, you guys stopped in September. That's when the
Yeah,
track,
yeah,
like the college athletes, were starting their season. We were a month,
yeah,
at least a month into our training by then. So a lot of people
yeah.
were just saying like things just came up too quick. Their bodies were not ready. It was speed up from last
Mhm,
year, or quarantine just had a effect on the body. Some people just were not coming back the same way that they wanted to. But wanting to
mhm.
get into your weight journey that you have opened up to me about and on social media about a little bit, how does it affect your training for how does it affect your training for starters?
Well, I have had a long journey when it comes to my body type, I would say.
Mhm.
Since middle school, I've always been the thicker, taller sprinter. And I kind of want to reclaim the word thick because even though, yes, I'm thick, I am strong. I am in the weight room, I'm
Mhm.
pushing weight. So it's not just, it's not like I'm just carrying around a lot of fat. I'm carrying around a lot of muscle. I'm just going to start there.
Mhm.
but, but yeah, I mean, even though, yes, this is something that has occurred in my life and it's going to continue to be something big, a part of my life, I am I am starting to have such love and confidence for what I am in the moment. And it's paying off because mentally I'm at ease and I don't have to worry about, well, dang, I don't look like nobody else on this line. It don't even matter. Like, I don't even care anymore. Like, I'm strong. I'm thinking I'm strong. So it's okay.
Now your growth on that has just been immaculate. I have gone through it with you too, from getting way too
Mhm.
small or honestly on the other side way too big, and people
Understand.
don't realize
Mhm.
that this effect can be long lasting on your mental health, honestly. And sometimes it might be a direct effect of your mental health, everything that you were going through in 2018. And it's something that people don't see when you step on the line. And that's why I wanted to just bring light to it, because a lot of athletes say, like, well, that person is shaped just like me. Well, what do they do? I bet they eat nothing. I bet they do this, and just the body dysmorphia that you can get from track and field sometimes is extremely important. I feel like it just needs to be addressed more because you see the people
Yeah.
who they
Yeah.
pick
It's, yeah.
and you don't look
Yeah.
like them.
It's definitely a conversation we definitely need to have, because it can be discouraging seeing the bodies that are highlighted, even though, yes, like they're running amazing times and stuff like that. But that's not the only body type that can run amazing times. Like, even though, yes, like I'm doing well right now, I know if I, and for lack of a better term, lean out, I guess. I don't even know how to really say it because it's not really that. But when I get to the body that's going to help me perform at world record pace, then I'll be that. But like right now, I just want to work on what I have now. So
Yeah, I think basically what you're trying to explain is you can work on your body to becoming or you can work on your body to becoming more lean if you need to, but at the same time, like you've accepted the way it looks and you're happy with it. And to people who
yeah,
are not within track and field, they look at us and be like, "Y'all are fine. Like we don't know anything that y'all are talking about. Like y'all look strong to us." But within the
it
track world,
oh, it's a difference when you tugging around a certain amount of weight doing 200s. That it hurts.
man,
But
it's
and
like
also
10 pounds overweight.
yeah. Right. I wanna shed light on because I wore the briefs, the panty briefs specifically in the
Hmm.
100 for a reason. I wanted to do it because I wanted to show everybody like, yes, I am the way I am and I'm gonna embrace this. I'm gonna be confident in myself and I'm gonna try to win. So yeah. So that was kind
That's
of
amazing.
a statement to yeah, of like Take me as I am.
Take me as I am. I really love that, especially in the way that you're shedding light to it, because we see it with Shakiri, and she does it with her nails, her hair, and her attitude, and she's just like, "Take me as I am," and you're like, "My body
Yeah.
type, everything that I have going on, I'm just like them. I push as much weight as them." That's just amazing to me. So, what advice do you have for younger athletes with a similar shape, or even who are just going through the same things that you have went through before?
Yeah. Just know to accept yourself where you are. Because if you don't accept yourself, I mean, nobody will. And if nobody does, whatever with them. um, and also just yeah, just show love to yourself, appreciate to yourself. If you have to write affirmations on your mirror, then do that. If you have to write affirmations on your phone, reminders, then do that. But just always love and appreciate you, because you only have you at the end of the day. So, well, you only have you and God at the end of the day. But and but yeah, yeah, just that's my number one thing. Just to always just love yourself, regardless of where you are.
That's amazing. Look at you. Okay. That's exactly what people need to
It's the
hear. That's it.
glow.
It is. It's the glow. It's the growth. That's all you need. And this is why I wanted to talk to a lot of athletes about this type of stuff. We always just try to put on a front. Like everything's cool, everything's fine. We got our six pack. It is not like that. It is not
Mm-mm.
like
It
that.
takes work, and after Mount Sac, I worked with the USA Olympic dietitian, and we worked together to set a plan for the next 6 weeks from that moment leading up to until the trials. And I definitely did hold on to that. I was put eating more protein because I wasn't getting enough protein. I was having the right amount of carbohydrates and fats. So yes, like diet is important too. You just can't go around eating whatever you want, but also don't don't punish yourself if you do fall off track.
Hmm.
You know, um, if you do mess up, just get back on the ball and keep going, because your results are gonna come. They're gonna come.
Right, right. And when I've had those meetings, it's more so like 80% eat everything right, do everything you need to do, and then just give yourself that 20%, because if you don't give yourself that 20%, you're going to end up going crazy.
Yeah,
And that's how you make
going
a
real
well
crazy.
balanced athlete.
Hmm.
Now, switching gears into the talk of the town during Olympic trials, and I would join the FloTrack podcast a little bit. I have had to have many arguments with Kevin and Gordon about this relay pool. And I
Yeah.
just think, like, why speculate when you could just ask the woman herself? So people have talked about getting the top three spot. Now you got a third spot in the 4x1. How do they choose 4x1, the relay pool, because they're bringing the whole field? What do you do
Hmm.
there?
Well, for me specifically, I can't talk about anybody else. For me, I can focus on my 100-meter uh, race and making that final
Hmm.
and trying to medal in that. At the end of the day, the decision is not media's. It's not no random bot on social media. At the end of the day, that decision is based off of the USA coaches. Whatever they decide, it happens. We have some amazing ladies that's on the relay pool right now. Aaliyah Hobbs, Tamara Clark, um, Jenna Prandini, Gary Thomas. Like it's Shakari. You know, everybody is on it. So at the end of the day, Team USA is going to run fast. We know that, regardless of who they put on the relay. But I'm just going to focus on my 100 and then talk with the coaches after that.
Okay. Do you feel like they play favorites?
Mm, no, I don't feel like they play favorites. Well, this is my first experience on the
Okay.
team,
Valid.
so yeah. So like
I'll
I don't
talk
know
to you
what I'm
after.
walking
I'll talk to you
into.
after.
Yeah, like I mean, I don't know what I'm walking into, but I'm pretty sure they will be fair on the decision because we have so much talent. Like everybody is a top contender. So yeah.
A record-breaking relay?
Let's hope. I hope so.
Let's hope. So, what are your next steps now preparing for the Olympics?
Yeah, my original plan with Flo was to go overseas and compete, but he decided not to do that and just kind of focus on training these next 4 weeks. And I believe I might be competing in the States, but we're not sure right now. But yeah, just kind of just getting some more training in and worry about July 30th.
Perfect. Thank you so much for joining me. This was great. I got a lot of insight. Enjoyed getting to know you more and more, and so did the viewers. And you can find all of the episodes on flotrack.org/on the run, Instagram and YouTube. Also on my Instagram. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.